Hey everyone, hope this turns out okay. It's one of those days where, I'd rather be inside than outside where it's kind of raining. Today I want to focus on doing that grid array that I worked on a while ago. And so anyway, let's just switch over to my computer and see what's going on here. So a while back, back in April, my goodness, a long time ago, I did these two videos, grid array part one and part two. And part one shows how to create this brick wall. Now, what I did, I used that technique, part one, to create this brick wall pattern. Let's gonna bring it over here. Oops, let's make this a bit smaller here. Let's make it 50 by 50 inch. It'll be fine. Now, it looks good. And if I go to fill mode, and it's pretty good. Looks like a sort of brick wall, alternating pattern. Switch back to line mode here for a bit. Now, one of the things I was trying to do the other day, and I realized where my mistake was when I originally built this. So I'm going to rebuild it and show you a little different technique. So I'm using my grid array, and what I want to do is I'm just going to create a 2 by 2. And I want to make sure my X and Y spacing is 0 and no shifting, no grouping of results. So I'll press OK. Now I have this really nice pattern here, and when I go to fill, it shows the brick wall, but I'm noticing something really strange, that some of these bricks are bigger than the other. So let's just go back and at the line mode here, and you can see that I didn't quite center it. Now, if you were using this as a pattern and you don't want to see these lines, what you can do is I just go through and I just group it all and weld it all together, and I can use this in line mode, and I can do an outline and just have the bricks and not the whole pattern. But this didn't work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrap all that, and I'm going to start fresh on my blue layer and make sure it's on line mode. And I'm going to create a rectangle. Now, I have to make this the right way, so I want to make it 20 by 10. Now, it's pretty small, and I'm going to position it, let's go position it right here. I'm going to position it at 2050, just so I can line up my marks easier. Now, I can create a nice pattern with this if I wanted, but I want to make sure that the spacing. So if I just go to my array tool, and I want to go say 3, 4, 3, 4, and I want to shift it so I have this brick wall effect where large and small. It looks okay, but I want to get spacing, like the mortar spacing in my brick wall. So I'm just going to undo this. Now, easiest way I found to do this, to keep all my spacing right, is I'm going to select my one brick. I'm going to use my offset tool, and I'm going to go inward 1 pixel, and go OK. And I'm going to turn that on a different layer just so I can see it. Now, oops, forgetting it's stuck on that tool. So now if I were to take this and do my grid array again and shift by half and go 2, 4, okay, and go OK, and just hide my blue layer and select this to fill. I have this nice little pattern, and all my spaces between each of my bricks are the same. So that's one thing I can do. But I want to recreate a better brick wall pattern for my pattern here. So I'm just going to undo all my little changes here. And I'm going to repeat creating my brick wall pattern. Now the thing with patterns is you want to make your area in your design view larger than the pattern. So let's go and do this again. Now I'm going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And okay. Now, what I know, okay, because I made my bricks 10 by 20 by 10, and I can check that out with my measure. So there's 20 by 10. And inside should be 18 by 8. So that's that 1 millimeter all the way around. So because these are 20 by 10, I want to create a nice pattern. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my tool layer, my tool 1. I'm going to create a rectangle. And it doesn't matter what it is right there because I'm going to resize it in here. 40 by 40. Now, easiest thing to do here, oops, I did it again with is I'm going to select all of my brick wall. I'm going to group it all together. Take this one template frame and I'm going to put it in the center, vertical center. Now, what I want to do with this is I want to line it up on my blue grid. And it should work out just fine if I move it over and make sure that that's there. Okay. And what I want to do as well is I want to go half on my other bricks. So I need to move it about half. Okay. Now, to make this work well, to make sure it's done properly, now I can make my brick wall pattern bigger or smaller, but I want to make sure that I cut off half of these bricks. So next thing is to use my Boolean assistant. So I'm going to select everything, go to my, I know I could try this Boolean assistant here, but I like using the one up in the tool menu. I want to do a subtract using my blue bricks, and I want to measure. I want to measure that that's 9, which is half of 18, and this should be 4, which is half of 8, which is exactly what I want. Now that I've got it where I want it, I can take this and once again, I'm gonna just place it here. Even so you can see it. Now I use my array tool, but I do not want to shift by half this time. I just want to go 3, 3. And once again, I have those extra lines in there, but if I weld that all together, I have this really nice brick wall pattern that fills out quite nicely. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to save it into my brick wall. I'm going to replace my brick wall pattern. So let's go and do that. I want to take this brick wall pattern and I want to delete it. And to add to that pattern, I've showed this before, but I can add my selection to the library, and I can call it brick wall. And it shows up in my pattern library. So now I have a better brick wall. And the technique here was basically making sure my measurements are correct. Okay? And a couple things is using that X, Y position to line up my pattern on the grid really helps me get things the way I want it. And the Weld tool to get rid of the extra lines when I want to take this pattern and expand it over a larger piece. And eventually what I'm going to do, so I'm going to take my brick wall pattern, let's go and make a 6x6. I think 6x6 will work. Make sure it's, get rid of that. And now that I have this, if I wanted to put text in here, I have a couple choices. I can do a text. So my text tool, red. It's gonna call it wall, and I can set that to. Let's make it bigger. Oops, probably too big. Let's go back off here. Now I can do an outline of that text. I want to go outward and outer shapes only. Five should be good. Okay, turn the outline into my blue layer, hide my red layer, and pick my outline and my grid. I can do that Boolean subtract. Bring my red layer back, set it to fill, and a little bunch of little holes. I can actually go and delete those. That's one way of doing this. So if I hide my red layer, I can go and select all these little bits and pieces. That's one way. Another way that I thought of is leave my brick wall text somewhere. Since I want it to be fill anyway, I can set it to fill. Now I want to get rid of the bricks that are around my text. Let's just do some fancy stuff here. I want to get rid of the bricks, not just mask them out with a Boolean assistant, but I want to get rid of the bricks. So what I can do is I can take my brick wall and I can ungroup everything, and I can delete individual bricks as I go. That brick, that brick, go, that brick, that one, that one. Now if I just get rid of the end ones here, I can do this a lot faster. Hide my red. I can just select those bricks there and delete them. Bring my text back, and now I have brick wall in the wall. So I hope that was helpful. Technique basically is I'm using setting my measurements correct and making sure that I line things up on my design grid so that I can more easily create my bricks. Also using that offset tool, creating my original brick, which was 20 by 10, but that includes the mortar left and right, top and bottom, and then making that grid, and then just keeping my offset, inner offset, to be the actual size of the brick, and then mask, and then Boolean assistant to subtract and weld. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.